big breaking update coming in this morning. The fugitive businessman Mehul Choksi has been nabbed in Belgium, and sources telling Times Now that India is seeking extradition. Remember, a non-bailable warrant has already been issued against him by the court, and Mehul Choksi has been arrested in Belgium. Now he's said to be at a hospital, and India has sought the extradition of Mehul Choksi. Senior news editor Bhavtosh Singh joins us on the broadcast with the details. Bhavtosh, good morning. This is a big update coming in after years of pursuing Mehul Choksi. He has now finally been arrested in Belgium. What are the details? Where was he arrested from? And can he be deported and brought to India, or will he be taken to Antigua?
Good morning, Pratibha. As far as this case is concerned, this is for the first time in 7 years that Mehul Choksi has been arrested. Unlike his brother, unlike his nephew, Nirav Modi, was arrested in May 2019 by the UK Metropolitan Police in London in May 2019. Mehul Choksi has been formally arrested only on 11th April by Belgian authorities, presently in jail. Coming back to what would happen in this case, he in fact had surrendered his Indian nationality in September 2017, and then went ahead and acquired Antiguan nationality. Though India never accepted this, and in January 2018 he fled the country. First went to US, and then from US went to Antigua. Now in June 2021 he was found in Dominican Republic, and India wanted to deport him primarily because India never accepted his passport, his surrender of passport, but India failed to do so. He went back to Antigua. Then in February, he went to Belgium on the pretext that he wanted to get himself treated for blood cancer. Since then, India has been tracking him, and finally, on 11th April, he was arrested. And now India wants Belgian authorities to extradite him. Now, the problem before India is that there is no red notice against him, but India has said that there is a non-bailable warrants that have been issued against him, and they have filed charge sheets against him. He has already been declared a proclaimed offender in the cases that have been registered against him. So they are hopeful that a diplomatic depth on part of India, as well as good relationship between India and Belgium, would help them to get Mehul Choksi. But a huge victory for India, primarily because Mehul Choksi, who's a co-accused along with Nirav Modi in the $2 billion case, has finally been arrested.
Okay, all right, Bhavtosh, stay with us. We have, in fact, more breaking updates coming in, more details of what will happen next. So, Mehul Choksi has been arrested from Belgium. We have accessed more details of what could happen, and apart from that, the fact that he has been arrested on the request of the Enforcement Directorate as well as the CBI. So, Bhavtosh, the ED as well as the CBI have been pursuing the case against him. He's accused of the over 3,000 crore PNB scam, and it was based on the ED and CBI request that he has been arrested in Belgium?
Yes, it's on request of both ED as well as CBI. Remember, both these agencies, CBI first because they filed the corruption case against Mehul Choksi and Nirav Modi, and a large number of bank officials who in fact helped them to orchestrate the biggest Indian banking fraud. And then subsequently, ED filed a money laundering case, and it's an ongoing probe. Pratibha, it's a probe that has gone for now nearly 6 to 7 years, and Indian agencies have pursued them across the globe. There are cases that have been filed by various banks in Manhattan. There are cases that have been filed in London, and cases have been filed in Hong Kong. So there are cases that have been filed across the globe by Indian government to make sure that they first return the money, and second, that they are tried in India. There have mixed success for India. Mehul Choksi has in fact Mehul Choksi was not arrested till few days back, and Nirav Modi, though he has ran out of legal option. This is he's not still brought to India, but India is hopeful that this time around somehow they would manage to get Mehul Choksi back.
Okay, all right. In 2018, the CBI had started investigating the case. By 2019, several of his properties had also been attached by the Enforcement Directorate. This is a strong message that India is giving out. Whether it is a terrorist who was trying to bleed India, or whether it is a fugitive businessman, there's going to be zero tolerance. And if there are cases pending against you in India, then you will be brought on Indian soil. And those are the efforts that we're seeing play out. He has been arrested in Belgium on the request of the ED as well as the CBI. But Bhavtosh, there are some challenges. Like you mentioned, he happens to be a citizen of Antigua. Now, Is that going to pose more challenges for the agencies to actually bring him to India? Is he going to be deported to Antigua, after which the process will continue? How will the extradition process continue after this now?
Pratibha, as far as this complex issue is concerned, India has never accepted his request that his passport be surrendered. India has said that you are wanted for crimes in India, and unless you have a clean record, your passport request for surrender of passport would not be accepted. This is much like in the case of Lalit Modi that we saw around a month ago. He has managed to acquire Antigua nationality. That is also true, and that he acquired on the basis of investments that he had made. The question is that will India manage to convince Belgium authorities and Belgian government that he should be extradited back to India so that he faces trial? But big victory as far as today is concerned that Mehul Choksi, who's on run for 7 years, has finally been arrested.
Absolutely. Stay with us, Bhavtosh. We have Colonel J.S. Sodhi, Foreign Affairs expert, also on the broadcast with us. A very good morning to you, Colonel Sodhi. This is a big update. For several years now, India has been pursuing Mehul Choksi, and we are told that he has been arrested in Belgium on the request of the ED and the CBI. What could happen next?
Jain Pratibha, it's my honor to be on an esteemed channel. Well, it is indeed a big diplomatic and a legal victory for India, with such a economic offender like Mehul Choksi, soon to be extradited to India, who's been just arrested in Belgium on the request of the Indian authorities. This clearly shows that any person who has either waged a war on India or has committed an economic offense in India will no longer be able to hide in any part of the world, because the present government of India is very strict and stern on measures to be taken on anyone, looking towards India with any nefarious activities, be it Tahir Rana, who's been extradited just few days back, and be it now Mehul Choksi, who will soon land in India to face the legal process. Well, the entire credit goes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, who have been relentless in ensuring that anyone who wages a war on India, whether physically, whether through violence or economically, will not be spared, whichever part of the world he or she are hiding in.
Okay, all right. Very interesting. Colonel Sodhi, you say no matter which part of the world you're in, if there are cases pending against you in India, you will have to be on Indian soil to face justice. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Geopolitical and security analyst Patikrit Payne is also on the broadcast with us. Mr. Payne, this is a big moment for India, and this comes especially close on the heels of Tahir Rana being brought to the country as well. Mehul Choksi has now been arrested in Belgium.
Well, it is indeed a very good news. A few years back, Modi government actually passed a law called Fugitive Economic Offenders Act.
Yes.
And most of these cases are pursued under that act. But at the same time, we must understand these people themselves are extremely, they have the money, and so they have tried their best to actually manipulate the situation and get passport of other countries so that they can avoid the arrest and extradition. But in the recent past, a very prominent, the European Union leadership led by Ursula von der Leyen came to India, and I'm very sure some kind of, discussion must have happened about this issue as well, potentially. So given the relationship in the changing geopolitical dynamics between European Union and India, the possibility of Brussels this time listening to what India wants can be very, very high, because the European Union headquarters is in Belgium. So I think the possibility of Mehul Choksi this time trying to evade extradition, that possibility is far less than what it was probably the last time when he was arrested. But if he is brought back, then it will be a massive victory for Prime Minister Modi. One thing we should give credit to this government is the steadfastness with which it pursues the cases even when it has temporary setbacks. Mehul Choksi or Nirav Modi, these are not ordinary people. They have money to manipulate the system to get the best lawyers wherever they go and hide.
Yes.
So against that odds, the government has fought out, and credit goes to Modi government for this.
Absolutely. And money to spare, and they've been doing that. They've been trying to avoid law for a long time now. Parijita Sarangi is also on the broadcast with us. Thank you for joining us, and kudos to the government. Though he has been arrested in Belgium, we are told that it was on the request of the ED and the CBI, and that India has put in a formal request for extradition.
This is a big moment for all of us, and I'm very proud of the no-nonsense approach of Prime Minister Modi and his government. In fact, we had steadfastly pursued this case. And I tell you, this is a moment when all the countries listen to India. This is extremely important. You know, people like these have lots of connections, lots of influence all across the world. And to get them arrested is something which I would count as a major achievement of Prime Minister Modi's government. I feel really proud as an Indian, and I think extradition, I'm sure these will be sorted out, and the Mumbai police, the Indian authorities here in Delhi, would definitely be kind of, getting into those measures and ensuring that the person concerned, Mehul Choksi, is extradited to India. We are all hopeful.
Okay,
Thank
hopeful that he will be brought to the country. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Going back to Bhavtosh with that update, an important message that India is trying to send out when you are hailing this move. What are the charges once he lands on Indian soil? What are the charges that he is going to face?
Well, as far as charges against Mehul Choksi are concerned, there are charges of corruption that was filed against him, also that of forgery, cheating, and that was in the CBI case. As far as the ED case is concerned, he has been booked under money laundering case. So there are two separate cases. But Pratibha, there are a slew of charge sheets that have been filed both by CBI and ED, and there are several other FIRs that have been filed as both CBI and ED started digging various offences against them. As Mehul Choksi alone has been accused of committing banking fraud worth at least 10 to 13,000 crore rupees. The government has said that they have managed to restitute properties worth at least 9 to 10,000 crore rupees in case of Mehul Choksi and Nirav Modi. The opposition has always targeted the Modi government for the fact that both of them have been on run for now nearly 7 years, with Nirav Modi being lodged in London jail. Nirav Modi had made at least 7 attempts to get out of the jail, but he has failed on all occasions, with London court mentioning in its order that he's a flight risk. Mehul Choksi was the one person who, in fact, managed to dodge everything. He fled the country first and then subsequently went to US, stayed there for a very long time. From there, he went to Antigua, and from Antigua, he went to Dominica. India failed to get his deportation. Then he went back to Antigua. It was only when he went to Belgium, he claimed that he was suffering from blood cancer, that India finally located him and then subsequently got him arrested, though from Belgium, he wanted to go to Geneva.
So he has been claiming persecution by the Indian government. He has been claiming that he is suffering medically and will not be able to come to India. These are some of the issues that he has been talking about, Bhavtosh. Is that going to be a challenge for him to be brought to the country? And realistically, now that he has been arrested in Belgium, how long could it take for him to be brought to the country?
Well, this just, if at all Belgian authorities start the process of extradition, it would be a long one. It will take at least 2 to 3 to 4 years for his extradition. Pratibha, remember, Choksis are, or the extended family of Mehul Choksi and Nirav Modi are, most of them are Belgian nationals. His wife, Preeti Choksi, is also a Belgian national. So they have, in fact, a footprint in Belgium, particularly in Antwerp. Their jewelry business, in fact, originates from there. What we are looking here, possibility is that he will take the refuge of the fact that there would be human rights violation if he comes back to India. He has already said so when he was detained in Dominica, saying that he was illegally abducted from a boat and then dumped in Dominica, and he managed to get a relief from Dominica and then went back to Antigua. So there are chances that he will use a battery of lawyers, high-profile lawyers, to somehow stop his extradition from Antwerp to India. So one has to wait and see what will happen next in the case.
Okay, all right. So it will be interesting to see what happens next. But this comes close on the heels of Tahabur Rana being brought to the country as well. And that as well came after several years of relentless efforts and also meticulously taking evidence and going to the US court time and again by the central agencies to ensure that Tahabur Rana was brought to the country. Bhavtosh, stay with us. We have Vikram Singh also on the broadcast with us. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Vikram Singh. Close on the heels of Tahabur Rana being brought to the country, we have the fugitive businessman Mehul Choksi, who has been arrested in Belgium.
This is a great achievement yet once again after Tahabur Rana, and indeed gives a clear signal to all those who thought that they will get away with this loot. The signal now is very clear. that wherever you are in the world, all escape routes have been plugged, and our investigating agencies will go and run the extra mile to get you back and also ensure that the plundered money is also brought back to India. And also, the co-conspirators who were willing accessories to his loot and his being a fugitive and facilitated his escape will also now be accounted for. Just as Tahavur Rana will spill the beans, so will Mehul Choksi identify all those, the black sheep within the government, outside the government, the underworld, who facilitated the loot and his going underground and disappearing into thin air. Thanks also to all our investigating agencies.
Yes.
Thanks to the Belgium police for the great identification of cooperation, and a tight whack slap across the face of all the critics who said that India was not serious enough in bringing back Mehul Choksi and his likes.
Yes, because the message is loud and clear. There's going to be no mercy for India's enemies. Thanking Bhavtosh and you, Vikram Singh, for joining us on the broadcast.